Good. Welcome you all once again to today's edition of the class. We are continuing what we did in our last meeting. We are still on the interpretation, our very first question. Wow. So last week we did the liquidity and the efficiency. Today we are doing the gearing and yes, that's all. And finish it. And conclude and start one full question and finish it. I hope everyone can hear me loud and clear. Good. So now we did the efficiency ratios. So probably today we are going to do the gearing. So give me the gearing ratios. We calculated only two, debt to equity and then the interest cover. So gearing. So yes, as the name suggests, write a gearing, good, on top. So gearing. Hey, I think the people at work. Gearing. I can also call it solvency. Solvency. Underline it nicely. Ashish, that the first paragraph should talk about gearing. Not plenty, no, not at all. Not plenty. In fact, if you have more points, you can ignore that section. Second paragraph to talk about the first ratio, I'm going to talk about it. We are talking about two ratios. So the second paragraph also talks about. So debt to equity, interest cover. That's all. Then you are done. Have you seen it? Good. So we shouldn't talk about plenty items because one question we started when 3 weeks in. Okay. So every day we do something small about it. So that's it. Now tell me what gearing ratio probably does or measures. Gearing ratio. Brief statement. What does the gearing ratio measures or entails? So let's see. So it's said that the gearing ratio measures. So this measures get into the night visibility. Campbell measures what? Gearing ratio measures the ability of what? What's the name of the company? The ability of the company, but here it should be specific. Mention the name of the company. So the name of the company is what? Peace Ltd. So ability of Peace Ltd to generate streams of cash flows. Stream of cash flows for two reasons. Oh yes, for two reasons. One, to service your debt if you have debt. Two, the remaining one is for your operations. Yes. So cash flow for repayments of debts, and then operations to finance operations. That's small. However, This also analyze the impacts of debt or the impact of, let's make it risks, the impact of risks associated with debt on Peace Limited. Peace Limited. So that is it. Good. So you get it well. You get it well. So shouldn't be plenty. Oh. Good. It shouldn't be plenty. Don't write plenty. But if you're writing your daily report, yes, that one you have your ample time. You know, with the examination, you are constrained with time. So that's it. Now, what are the two ratios that we are going to talk about them? Now, let me go over again. This ratio, or this measures the ability of Peace Limited to generate streams of cash flows for repayment of debt and operations or operational activities. However, this also analyzes the impact of risks associated with debt on Peace Limited. So the GRN talks about your debt and the impact on your debt. So debt and impact on debt, like the debt and then the risks associated on the debt. So that's the financial risks, the risks that you face when you go for loan or when you use debt as a source of finance. That is it. Now we are going to talk about the two key ratios over here. That's the debt to equity and what? Interest cover. Now let's start with debt to equity. So the next paragraph will talk about debt to equity ratio. So the debt to equity ratio, let me do all of them here. Yes. Let me do all of them here. Let me do all of them here. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Yes, you'll be fine. Good. So now check for me as the debt to equity increases or decreases. The debt to equity that we calculated last week or last 2 weeks, has it increased or decreased over the period? So as the debt to equity increase or decrease over the period? Increase. Okay, good. V, I like that. Increase. From which value to which value? So that we can see the magnitude, whether it has increased significantly or marginally. So let me see the values and see how we can talk about it. So 2011 is 16.48. So from 16.48 to 23, so approximately that's increased by 7 points. Good, the 7 points. So I like that. I like that. Okay, so that is it. Now we can say that debt debt to equity debt to equity debt to equity ratio measures the proportion of Peace Limited proportion of equity being represented by debt or debt proportion of equity. So proportion of debt over equity. So let's pick that way. Now proportion of debt, proportion of debt over equity. Okay. Comma, which has increased over the period, which has increased over the period. So that is it, which has increased over the period. So the debt to equity has increased. So everybody, please write for me whether it's a good performance or a bad performance when your debt to equity increases. Is it a good performance or a bad performance? Okay, so let me pick them now. Debt to equity, if it increases, debt to equity, waiting, debt to equity, if it increases. Oh yes, when it increases, it means that your risk level is also increasing, because if this trend continues, it increase, a time will come, then your debt will be more than your equity, and that's where your gearing will be high, and then you are going close and closer to your debt. Yes, so that is it. So it has increased over the period. I think it's bad. Oh yes, it's true. Yes, when the debt increases, though there is a good section of debt. Yes, that's sometimes good because debt is cheaper than equity. That's to the finance terms or to finance. Yeah. Despite the tax savings, when it keep on going high, your risk level or your financial risk also be increasing. That is it. So this suggests that this means those, that is that there is the risk level as of debt is increasing slightly over the period. So this suggests that the risk level or the risks associated with debt or the risks involved with debt. So the risks involved with debt or associated with debts. Risks involved. So let's use involved, or you can also use what? Associated. Oh yes, associated with debts. The risks associated with debts associated with debts. I think the mind is faster than the hand. Good. Risks involved with debt. Has increased over the period, which represents can I use a bad trend? No. Which represents what? Which represents here we can't say an encouraging trend. No. Just encouraging trend. But let's use a nicer term than that. Oh yes. If you're increasing in risks. So here probably it might not be a poor performance. Yes, some company normally do that for a strategic reasons. Oh yes, for a strategic reason, because debt is cheaper than equity. Now give me what do you think Ashish, which represents a bad performance. We say bad performance, no? Which represents a going concern challenge. A going concern challenge. Like if your debt is increasing and your risk is increasing, then you get to a time where you are close to your end, where you'll be closing, you're getting close to your end. That's a going concern issue. Okay, so I have another word there, going concern, right? Good. Now let's also think through and then come out with a different word that will probably shoot it. Sorry, that probably shoot. My ladies, where are you? Oh yes. Normally have nice words. Okay. Madam Ruth, I hope you are there. Okay, so that's fine. That's fine. So which represents so when your risk is increasing, what's the meaning? Is it bad performance? Is it a bad performance? Wow. The video has stopped. Good. Now let's continue. Okay. Any suggestion for us? Any suggestion? Any suggestion for us? Good. Waiting. Okay, let's move on. So we will present a going concern challenge. Increase, but still within the recommended values. Financial threat to the company. I like your terms. Which represent what? A financial threat. Wow. Threat is inside. But the increment is still below. So though it has increased. Financial threat. I would like the financial threat when probably okay, I'll pick it. Going concern to is the same issue. So I think I'll pick your point, which represents financial wow. A financial threat. So by a going concern threat. Yes. So you can also make it going concern threat. Yes. So we should be careful with the level of the threat because it's still below the acceptable range, though it is increasing. So the fact that it's increasing, we are saying that the fact that it's increasing, a time will come that it will increase, and it will pass what? The acceptable norm. As soon as it's moved up to 100 plus going, then it's worse. So we should probably be a bit careful here. Other than that, it will look like they are performing wet. No. So that is it. I like Jude. I like your analysis. Yeah, so that will be our next point. Now, what do you think will be the reason or the causes? So you check whether they have what, whether they have contracted a loan during the year or whether the debt has increased. So let's see whether the debt has increased. So give me the reasons. So the reasons for the increase in the debt to equity. So the reasons. Good. So waiting for the reasons. So that is it. Let's go to the company's financial statements and see. Let's go to the company's financial statements and then see. Wow, the network is very poor here. Good. You'll be fine. So now let's see. Let's go to the loan. Debenture 37, and it has increased 58,500. Increased to 58,500. So that's the one fact. Yes, when the debt is increasing, it also causes the genuine level. So have you seen last year? That's 2011. 2011, the debt, the debenture is what? 37,000. But during the year, they increase it, and now it's up to what? 58,500. So that's one factor. Let's go and check the equity. The equity increased over the period. Yes, equity has also increased. The equity sections increased. Equity item, the stated capital has increased 25 to 40. It has probably increased marginally by 15,000. And then ordinary share is stable. Yes, and then the other components of equity also increase slightly. So that is it. So now we know the reason for the increment. So the reason for the increase in debt to equity can be attributed to what? The increase in the debenture. So this is here we are sure. Yes, here we are sure, no assumption, because there's an evidence, and evidence is what we determined on a financial position. So this is as a result. This is what? As a what? As a result. Yes, result. Because we are sure. This is as a result. As a result of. As a result of. As a result of the issue of new debenture. New what? Debenture. Or debentures. Good. So this is as a result of the issue of new debenture. So we can probably, although continuation, although the other component of equity has also what? Increased. The other component of equity has also increased. Although the other component of equity, that's the retained earnings, although the other components of equity has also increased. Good. So increased over the period. So that is it. Good. So you will see. So I'll let you see everything here. Good. Other components of equity has also increased. So now we've assigned the reason. Therefore, increase the debenture. Don't go and say non-current liabilities. So be specific. Which of the non-current liabilities? You go and say loan note. They've gone for loan. There's no loan on their financial statement. Yes. So that is it. And then as soon as you issue new debenture, you increase your financial threat or your financial risks. So there have been this represents a financial threat or financial risks. So increase in financial risks. So that is it. Okay. Now, is there any issue here? Yes, there's an issue. Even though it has increased over the period, the debt to equity has increased over the period, the debt to equity for both years falls below the industrial average, which is 100%. This suggests that the company is what? Lowly geared. Yes. So the risk, the financial threat is what? Low. Yes. Just that the increasing, it means that you are increasing in the financial threat, but it has increased, but where you are is low. It's like this. If care is not taken, you will deviate. Oh, yes, because here a lot of students deviate here. You see them contradicting themselves. Yes, they'll tell you that it is highly geared. No, this is not highly geared because it's below 100%. Just that it has increased. So that is it. Here, the financial threat is low. The financial threat is low. Though there has been an increase, but it's still low. It's like you are moving. You are moving from 1 city to 2 city to 3 city. There's an increase in the monetary value, but it is what? Low. That is it. Wow. There's been some pauses in it. Okay, so that is it. So you be very, very, very careful when interpreting this. So though it has increased, but the threat is what? It's minimal. The threat is minimal. The threat is not huge. So that's why when you're using the threat, I said that we should be very, very careful so that we won't use a very worst position because their debt to equity is good. So that we are telling them that if they continue to be increasing it, they shouldn't forget that they are going to also increase your what? Their financial threat. That's what. So that's what we are telling them. We are not saying that there is a financial threat exists too. We are saying that what you've done, you have increased your financial threat. So if you continue and continue, it's your threat that you're continuing to increase in. But now it's okay. Oh yes, now you are fine. So that is it. So let's pick that point and then explain it. So I'll do that point at the other section. Good. So I'll do that point at the other section. Good. So I'll do that point at the other section. So now 16.48 to 23.63. So these are the ratios. 16.48 up to 23. That's what? 23.63. Now, so the next point, although there has been an increase in debt to equity over the period, although there has been an increase in debt to equity over the period, let me write and put something down. Good. Although, I can't go there. Let me clean the top. Yes. Although there has been an increase in debt to equity over the period, although there has been an increase over the period, but the debt to equity over the period falls below the benchmark or the acceptable range, or falls below a natural average or the benchmark. So let's see if you can put something together. Although the debt to equity has increased over the period, over the period, over the period, over the period, the ratio for both years falls below what? 100%, right? The ratio for both years falls Go here for below 100%. 100%. Falls below 100%, which makes Peace Limited, a lowly geared company. So lowly geared company. I like that. Here, the industrial average. Here, well, they have not given us industrial average. You are using a benchmark because we said that if you calculate it and you get 100%, that company is what? It's in equilibrium. But if you get below 100%, that company is lowly geared. If you get above 100%, you are highly geared. In fact, you are in a typical risk level. So that is it. So lowly and then highly geared. Thank you. So that's the benchmark. Okay, so this company is lowly geared. Full stop. This means that the financial risks facing Peace Limited, the financial risks facing what? Peace Limited is what? Low. The financial risk is low. Yes, that's the meaning. The financial risk is what? Low. So your financial risk is low. Yes, low. Although it has increased, but it's still low. Oh yes. If you have 1,000 Ghana and then I add just 1 cedi to it, it has increased by 1 cedi, but it's still low. It's still in the same range. So that is it. So take note how you argue your point. So don't say that because your debt to equity is increasing, it's highly geared because that's increased. No, not at all. Please. And take note. So I'm done for the debt to equity. So I'll move on to the next ratio on the list. The next ratio will be the interest cover because for gearing, always talk about two. Yes, interest cover. Or you can also talk about the debt to asset ratio. Please, the debt to equity and debt to capital employed, they explain the same thing. So don't choose them. Don't choose the two at the same time because they explain the same thing. Just the one is coming from 100% view, and then the gearing or the debt to capital employed also is coming from 50% view. So that is it. Good. Okay, so now let's move on to the interest cover. If you have any question, kindly ask. Or let me take the game. Although the debt to equity has increased over the period, the ratio for both years, the ratio didn't come. The ratio for both years falls below 100%, which makes Peace Limited lowly geared. This means that the financial risk facing Peace is low. As long as the risk facing Peace, as long as debt is concerned, is what? Low. That is it. Now you're going to interest cover. So let me take it off and go to interest cover. Interest cover. So here too, has it increased or it has what? Decreased. So the interest cover. Good. The interest cover. Good. So the interest cover. Good. So is the interest cover increase or decrease? So now let me pick my interest covers. So kindly for the interest cover to me. Good. So you're on the interest cover. Good. So as the interest cover decrease. Wow. There's a danger. Decrease, there's a danger. No recommendation. Okay. Here, is there any recommendation for debt to equity? Your debt to equity is increasing. So that it is increasing small, a bit. Yes. Any recommendation? Let me throw the question back to the entire class. Any recommendation? If probably they are doing something bad or something worse there, then we recommend a turnaround situation. But here their risk level is low, so they are still in the range. Once they are still operating below 100% debt to equity, then they are within the acceptable range. So that is it. That is it. So, well, you can still recommend, but make sure that your recommendation is strong. Yes. I always advise you probably to recommend when they are doing bad or they are also doing too well. You tell them that. Yes, ways of sustaining the good performance. So that is it. Okay, so the one who asks, you have any recommendation for us? If you have any recommendation, kindly make it available to us. Okay. So if you want to make any recommendation, assuming now the debt has increased from 37,000 to 58,500, so it has increased. So you probably tell them that if this continue, so that will be the recommendation though. If this increasing in debt to equity continues, a time will come that your going concern will be completely facing threat or the risk, your risk level will increasing and it will pose a challenge on your going concern. So the recommendation is that optimum debt should be taken. Optimum debt should be taken. Or avenues. Optimum debt simple means you are taking the debt, use of additional loan. Ensure that they really have good or beneficial use of the additional loan. Okay, I'll take that because if you are going to use it for a good activity to generate public return, at least if it can increase the return, when you use it to trade, there'll be some level of profit, and the profit will increase the equity, and it will offset the increase in debt. If you can do that, you don't have any issue. Good. So you tell them that they should use optimum debt. So like they should set optimum that these are debt level. We shouldn't go, they should target, these are debt level. We shouldn't go beyond that, because beyond that, our risk level will be what? Will be exposed or will be increased. So that is it. Or they can also raise shares to neutralize it, because if you are dividing debt over equity, okay, then if you want to neutralize it, I hope you can see, good. If you want to neutralize it, when this one is going up, make sure that this one also goes up. So that this one goes up, this one also goes up. So all of them are moving, so that the risk level will be what? Going down. I hope you get that. Yes, so that you won't have more debt in your financials. Good, so that will be the recommendation. Thank you. So now let's go to the interest cover. The interest cover is 3 dots for 2000 and steep decline. Wow, I like that. Yes, they started. Yes, I like that. The ladies. The guys, today challenge them. Oh, yes. Steep decline from 34.8 to what? 3.9 times. So the interest cover was 30. There has been a what? It was 2011. It was 34 dot what? Dot 83. And then 2012, 3.9. 3.93. Okay, so let me hear the comments. Good. Steep decline. Any other? When your interest cover has reduced from 34.83. Yes. Please, somebody should find a percentage for me. The percentage change. Now, if you want to find the percentage, is the new minus old or divided by the old? So just find the difference and divide it by the old. Find the difference. So the difference between this and this. Somebody should find it. So percentage change. Yes, percentage change will be 34.83 less 3.93 all divided by 34, the original. So the new minus old all divided by old, percentage 88.5%. I like that. So times 100. So 88. So can I make it 89%? About 89%. Good. That is it. So there is a steep. Yes. So the guys, team up and give me one word to probably combat the ladies' own. Steep decline. So if the thing has reduced or declined by 89%, about 89% approximately. So what can we tell them? Sharp. Hey, you're sharp. Sharp. That's declined sharply. Okay, I'll probably take that for the meantime, but I still need more. Sharply. That declared sharply. That declined sharply. Well, I'll take that. Declined sharply. Okay. Okay. Any other? Oh, I need more. Significant. Significant. Oh yeah, this one is more than significant too. Almost 90% too. Almost 90%. So steep is fine, eh? Okay, steep is fine. The steep is fine. Drastic, yes. In fact, bingo. Drastic decline. Drastic. Okay, any other? In fact, I want the words. Let them flow. So, good. So I'll go in for the steep. Steep or significant. So I'll go in for that. Thank you all for your suggestion. All of them are good, great, and relevant. Still open for more. If you have more, please share it with us, okay? Yes, so that your point may benefit someone and somebody point you may also benefit the other. So the next paragraph, I want to talk about the interest cover. So interest cover measures what? The ability of the entity. Yes. Yes, so the availability of profit that we are going to use to pay the interest, the availability to cover off what? The interest. Okay, so that is it. So interest cover, which interest cover So interest cover measures the ability of peace or profit, preferably before tax, because we're going to use the profit before tax to pay off the interest, not the profit after tax. So the profit before interest and tax. That's what we're going to use to pay. So that interest cover just measures your ability of peace to generate enough profit to cover off the interest expense. So measure the ability of peace to generate what? Enough operating profits or profit before interest and tax. I want operating profits. Or you can just mention profit, but you can go ahead and tell her the specific profit, which is what? The one that we use to pay interest. Not all profit that we use to pay interest. So we use what? The profit before interest and tax to pay interest. Then, so to generate enough operating profits to probably to cover the interest expense. To cover, or let me ring the cover, because there's cover here, interest cover here. So if you can preferably use a different word aside the cover. Now, my ladies, let's go. Yes, so different word apart from cover. Your ability of your operating profit to cover for your. Okay, so that is it. Any alternative? Yes, to cover your interest expense. Over there. Cover the interest expense. Interest expensed. Interest expense. Interest expense. Or interest expense incurred. So that's it. To pay off. Okay. I'll take that. To pay off the interest. Yes, normally you use cash. Yes. Liquidity. In liquidity terms, you're going to use cash to pay. But in performance terms, you have settle. Okay. Settle and pay move in line. Yes. So just that we have to be clear that we don't use profit to like physically settle. But we are going to use cash to pay off. But your ability, can your profit contain the interest? Can it probably cover or pay or settle? Let me go back to settle or pay. So that is it. So take note. So you can also use the settle, pay, cover. All of them will work here. So let me write pay, settle. Good. Just be aware that you can't go and tell your bank that if you make profit before interest and tax of this. So you should come and take, no, they will accept fiscal cash. So that's it. And then also know that the profit before interest and tax might be materially different from your cash balance. So that is it. Okay, so you've probably literally tell the meaning of the. In fact, this one is the literal meaning. Someone, if you know what you're writing, doesn't matter. Just go straight forward and do it for us. Yes. But if you are short of probably analysis, you are short of words, I don't want to write plenty to equal all this. Yes. Good. Now, so there has been Steep. What's the word that they use for me? Yes. There has been a what? Yes, not slightly. No, that's not a slightly increase or decrease. There has been a steeply. Check for me. There has been a steeply decrease or drastic. So the alternative that they brought drastic. Here they pick or choose the words that will sound very, very, very like significant. Will sound bold that yes, the thing has really dropped. Oh yes, the thing has really dropped. Really. Oh, yes. So it will decrease in the interest cover about what 90 about 89% from 2011 to 2012 or over the period. Let's make it over the period. Over the period. So now tell me, is it a good performance or a bad performance? Hey. I like that. I like that. Pascal, there has been drastic nose dive. Hey, Pascal, Sunday you kill us. There has been a what? A drastic nose dive, like nose dive. Okay. Drastic plus nose plus dive. Okay. So that's it. Good. Now tell us whether it's a good performance or bad performance. Now, if your ability, if profit bad, okay, yes, yeah, this represents a poor performance, a poor performance, a poor performance. So let's continue. This represents a poor performance. I like that, poor performance. This represents poor performance. Because if your ability to pay your interest is going down dramatically or drastically, like 89%, no. Yes, so this represents a poor performance. Yeah, when you mention poor, we are not afraid because yes, it's indeed a poor performance. Good. So that is it. This represents a poor performance. This represents a poor performance. So take note of that. Good. So good. Welcome back. I hope you can see clear now. This represents a poor performance. Poor performance and what? Pose a threat or a challenge. Pose a threat or a risk. Either a threat or a risk. This pose or this result a threat or pose a risk. on shareholders what? Dividend. Yes, shareholders dividend. Shareholders dividend, because our profit might not be enough to cover for our interest. If the profit is low, then which part are you going to distribute to the owners by way of what? Dividend. So take notes. So to be shareholder dividend is at risk. Dividend is at risk. And post challenge on shareholders dividend. Oh yes, because if your profit cannot pay off your interest, the profit after tax will be low. And if your dividend depend on your profit that you've declared during the year or end during the year, then that dividend will be at risk, and shareholders may not want that to happen. Oh yes, so that is it. So take notes for me. Now, what do you think will be the reason, the cause of this bad performance? The cause of this bad performance. What do you think will be the reason of this bad performance or the poor performance? The poor performance. Assign reasons. So tell us the reasons. Now let's go to the financials and see if we can probably get some specific reasons there. Why? Okay, so check the debt. Yes, the debt has increased. So that's the one reason, because when the debt increases, the interest will also increase, because now you're not going to pay interest on 37. No, you pay interest on 58. So the interest will be more. Yes. Especially if you take it from a different bank or a different financial institution, to even worse the case. Why? Because they will tell you that, please, the loan that we are giving to you, don't go and pick loan from any company. But if you go and pick and then you realize that you owe a different company, by way of securing their risks, they will charge you a higher interest, so that at least to compensate the risk. But there's a risk that, or there's a possibility that you've taken loan somewhere, so you can't pay what they are giving you. So the only answer is that they have to increase the interest, so that at least even within short time, they recoup their investment. So can be a factor. So now let's go to the profits and see whether there has been a decline in the profit over the years. I think its net asset was considerably bad. Yes. But look at the profit. Look at the profit. The net profit is very, it has decreased. But you're not going to base on the net profit. You're going to base on the profit before tax. So everybody bring the profit before tax that we had last week or the last 2 weeks, our profit after tax. Kindly bring it for me, the profit after tax. Sorry, the profit before interest and tax. The profit before interest and tax. So calculate it for me and then let's base on it. And then with the respective finance cost. You can see the finance cost has increased from where? 3,000 to 14,500. Find the percentage change for me, the percentage increase, the finance cost. Do that one too. Yes, so the finance cost has increased from where? 3,000 to what? 14,000, like I said. If the loan, when the loan was 37, you are paying interest at 3,000. But additional loan that you contracted, in fact, has increased your finance cost to what? 14,000. How many times? Almost 5 times. So the small loan that you contracted has increased the finance cost more than what? 5 times. Have you seen analysis? When you check the financial statement, the loan initially it's what? 37. And finally it's 58. So if I should find the difference, 58,500 less 37,000. That's probably 21,500. Now, if I have 37 and I'm paying interest at 3,000, now I went for 21,500. Now I'm paying interest extra. So even 14,000, let's go to the interest. Kindly be with me for the analysis. When you go to the debenture interest, 14,500. Now this 14,500 less than 3,000. That'll probably be what? 11,500. So it means that the new interest on the new debenture was very high. Like the point I was saying, the only way the bank can recoup their debenture or their investment is to charge you higher interest because you are taking loans from several banks. Yes. So that is it. So what's the percentage increase? So let's take it from there. So two calculations that you are doing. Percentage increase is 79%. So the interest increased by what? 79%. Good. Now give me the profit before interest and tax. And then that's all. The profit before interest and tax, the figure. Or the okay, 2011. Okay, good. So 104, 2011. 104, 5,000. Good. And then 2012 is what? 57,000. Wow. So here everything suggests that your profit, your operating profit has gone down. Yes. The profit, we should go and fight the interest and surrender and go down, decrease. Can you find the percentage decrease for me? It has decreased. Meanwhile, the interest has what? Increased by 79%. So automatically, it will contribute to the 89% decrease in the interest what? Cover. So if you should calculate the percentage decrease in the, that's 45%, right? Good. So imagine your operating profit has gone down by 45, but your interest has gone up by 79. So automatically, it will force your interest cover to go down. But all of this contributes to the poor performance in the interest cover. So this is how we expect you to analyze it for us and give us reason. Give us reason. So full stop. So we can continue by saying this is as a result of what? This is as a result of increase in the interest expense. This is as a result of increase in interest expense. Interest expense. As a result of the new debenture issued. Is the new debenture that increases. Yes, the new debenture that increases the interest. Good. So that is it. Now let's put down something. Oh yes, let's put down something. How? Let's put down something. Can I clean the top for the other session? There will be good. I hope you can see. Okay, so this is as a result of what? Increase in. So the reasons are two. I will capitalize on all the two. My exams, you can probably capitalize on what? One. So and write more. Don't forget that you shouldn't write what? Plenty. The interest has gone up by what? 38%. The interest has gone up by 83. Is it 83 or 38%? Let's see. 14,000. Is it 14,000? Let's see. 383%. Wow. So 300 and what? 83%. That's the interest. So the interest expense has gone up by 383%. Whereas the profit has gone down by what? 45%, right? Oh, okay. So 38% times 0.45. Good. So that is it. 117 reference. Hey, this is Pascal explain. Please, how do you get the 383%? Is equal to percentage change. Is the new. So percentage change in interest expense is the new interest less the old interest, all divided by the old. If I do get negative, negative suggests that it has what? Decreased or gone down. So 14,500. Hey. Okay, so that's 11,500 divided by 3,000. So 11,500 divided by 3,000. Pascal, I like your analysis. Yes. Times 100. Good. Yeah, so the interest increased by 383%. Wow. Your interest had increased. So if such a company, they have presented their financial statement for additional loan from your bank, will you accept that? As a credit officer, write to your credit control manager whether the loan or if requested for additional finance, whether you should grant it to the person. Now, when the interest cover is going down, it means that there's a danger. If you go and top up the loan, there's a possibility that you may not be able to pay your interest. You might not get profit to cover the interest. So that is it. Good. So have you seen how we are doing the analysis? We are not just writing abstract. Oh, it's as a result of this. Just an abstract without linking it to the question. So make sure that you link it to the question. So that is what we want. Good. So let's write something. Let's write something down, of course. We will put something down. Let's write something down. Don't understand. Please, which section? Which section? Specify, which section? Don't get it. Yeah, Pascal's calculation is right because the new interest is what? 3,000. So to be the 3,000 minus the new is 14,000. So 14,500 less the old, which is 3,000, all divided by, that will give us 11,500. Good. So that was 11,500. Then you divide 11,500 by the old, which is what? The 3,000. So the base, that's 383.3. So that's it. Good. Okay. So that's it. Times 100. So I hope it's clear now. Now let's put down something. I want to say that this, yeah, we are sure. Oh, yes, we are sure. Factual. Why? Because there's an evidence in the question. There's an evidence in on our financial. We cannot say that this is as a result. No, you can't say that it appears. It seems it could be due to, meaning you are not sure, it could be due to. So this one we are sure. So this is as a result of the increase in the interest expense, interest expense resulting from the additional debenture, issued, or debentures issued. So the additional debentures issued, that is it. This is as a result of the additional debenture, as a result of increase in interest resulting from where? So we are even telling him how the interest increases. Oh yes, because if your debt is 37, you are paying interest at 3. And when your debt increases to 58.5, increased by 21.5, and now you are paying interest of what? 14.5. Then it's a decrease of 11.5. So it means that 21,500 that you took, the interest is 11,500. So that's the additional interest that you are paying. So the additional interest you are paying. So you can bring all these analysis inside. So that's why you have a lot of points. So I'm doing all of this because somebody will pick that point and capitalize on it and then write where about it. Oh yes. Somebody will pick a different point, talk about it, and then that's it. You cannot have the same thing. Good. And then what again? And then decrease in the operating profit over the period. Oh yes. And as well as decrease in the operating profit. Oh yes, the operating profit also decrease. So that is it. We are done. So the operating performance decrease over the time, over the period. So that is a reason. That is a reason. That's a reason. So we have assigned reason. Any recommendation? Or we can still go further. Why? Yes. For those who want to score 1 over 100 and 20 over 20, you can still go further. Don't forget that if you score 20 over 20 in this, you spend the whole day to spend 20 over 20. You'll be limited in the other questions. Now you can also go further. But why should a new loan of 21 million attract a finance cost of 11,500? Why? Why should a new loan attract a finance cost of 11,500? So can talk about that. Yes. Okay. Any recommendation? Any recommendation? A question. Someone have a question. So let me unmute your microphone and then ask your question. Good. So let me see if I can locate the person. Good. Please can ask your question now. Wow. Wow. Your microphone is refusing to be unmuted. So yes, try it at your end there. It means that you've done it at your end. Okay, let me do something here. Let me unmute everybody. Good. Yeah, it is at your end.
Okay.
Because I've unmuted everybody, so try if you can.
Can I talk now?
So you can voice out your question.
Okay.
Yes.
Hello.
I have unmuted everybody.
Hello,
Your
Fred.
microphone
Can you
is
hear
still muted. So
hello, Fred.
I don't know. It's from your end. Good. Or you can put your question in typing.
Hello, Fred.
No, he's not talking. He's not talking at all because his microphone is off.
Oh, go.
Okay, his microphone is off. His microphone is off. So probably you can put the question in typing, then I'll pick it up. You can put the question in typing, and then I'll pick it up. Good. So try and then do that. Try. Okay, he's talking. Wow, he is talking. Okay, then I need but don't mind me. Don't mind me. I have to report myself. I have to report myself. Forgive me. You know that I'm using headsets, hairpins, and then the hairpin is hanging somewhere, and then I still want to hear you. Wow. Okay, so now you can ask your question. Hello. Hello. You can ask your question now. The muting section, let me see if I can do something about it now. Other than that, we will move on. Good. Where are you? So, is it okay now? Yes. Is it okay now? So, okay. Hey, let me do my thing again. Okay, so now I've allowed you to unmute yourself. So now unmute yourself and let's see if it works.
Yeah. Hello.
Yes.
Okay, I think it's better now. So, Fred, sorry I had to take you back a bit. I'm confused at the point that you said, so because maybe the company will go for another loan from a different place, the bank will increase their interest expense so they can recoup their money earlier. I really don't get that point.
Okay,
because
so this is the meaning. Probably you already have 37,000 finance, and then you're going for additional 21,500. And then if the bank analyze your position and realize that you don't fit for it, so they'll tell you that you don't fit for it. And if you still pushing that you need the funds, and then the only way to entice them is to reduce their rates. So probably they have to increase the charges on the loan, or the charges on the debenture, or the interest on the debenture. Yes. Now,
okay, so
the debenture, you put it on the market. Normally, either you go to the stock market, or you can probably secure it from other financial institutions. So if it's not coming from one person and then they have influence on it, they can detect. Okay, they can detect and then probably tell you that because you already have this amount there, I'm afraid that if I should give you my money, you won't pay me because you go and pay the first loan for my 21,000. So the only way I will feel a bit secured with that, let me charge you higher interest so that even within some short possible time, I can recoup the principal quickly. And if you fail to pay me, I will still use what? The interest that I have to put to offset the difference. Do you get it? In fact, this one is an assumption. That part of it is an assumption. That one could be here. I'm not sure because that part is still in a question. So that one is an assumption, like a possible reason, not like a fact in a question. No, it's an assumption that we are making that it could be it could be as a result of what? You are taking the loan or the debt from a different institution. Yes. Banks normally tell you that if you want additional loan, please don't go and take it from any place. Come to us, come and discuss with us, and then we will give you additional one. So please don't take any debt or any loan anywhere. We are ready for you. But still, company, when you look at your terms, and then they want to probably branch somewhere, they'll quickly change some figures and then represent something and then go for a different loan from a different bank. And so when the bank realizes that no, you still have some loan on your financials, the only way I'll feel secured is to probably increase the interest. I'll be get that.
Yeah.
I'll be talking now. Here, it is not a factual. It is not a factual. So if you raise this point, it could be due to or as a result of, because it's not in a question. It is not in a question. I'll be get that. Probably it's not even so. It's not even the interest. Probably it is the finance charge on it. So that is it. Okay. Any other question? Any other question? Okay, good. So you are fine, right?
I'm okay for now.
For now? No.
Yeah.
There's an issue. Let's resolve all now.
Okay, because there is earlier, I wanted to be sure that this increment in the interest,
Yeah.
whether it's coming from the same bank or maybe another bank is looking at your books to say that, okay, so we realize that you are paying, you've already have a loan with another bank. So if you are coming to us, then we are going to increase it. So my question really was whether it's interest.
Yeah. Can you continue with your question?
Okay, so what I was asking was that earlier I was a bit confused as to whether this high interest charges is coming from the same bank. I mean that Peace Limited took the earlier debt, or a different bank is looking at its books, and maybe as a result of the loan is already acquired, the new bank is charging that high interest. Because I mean, does it really make sense that if you want to recoup your investment because maybe Peace Limited is trying to increase it there, does it make sense that you should increase the interest so much? How is the company going to pay if already, I mean, from what we are looking at, there's not good performance from?
Okay, good. So
yeah.
First of all, that bit or that fact is not in a question. That's the first point. First of all, that bit is not in the question. So it's an assumption. We are given a possible ways that can increase the interest, the additional loan interest. Or it can also be that the interest rate has gone up. All these points are not in the question. So there are possible ways. So now let me explain this. Now, you have 37,000. You need 21. Currently, you're paying interest at 3,000. Now, that 21,000 that you need from, assuming that this is a bank A, and it is from a bank what B, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So they will tell you that you already have 37,000 bank A, our major competitor, and you're paying interest at 3,000. So, and he has given his money to you before us. So now when you're going to pay, you pay him before us, right? Good. Or depend on the agreement. So there's a risk that you may default in paying us our own because you already have existing debt. So the only thing to probably to compensate me, my risk, is that can I charge you higher interest so that even if you pay me 3 times interest, I can use that interest to recoup my investment. And even if you go bankrupted or if you default in paying, I've recouped it. My investment, my 21,000 I gave you, through the interest payment, I've recouped it long time. Unlike I have to now charge lower. I'll be get that. Now, bank, they want a fresh loan. You are not taking loan from anywhere. Come and pick it from us. Let's start beginning. If you pick a loan from multiple banks, there's a risk that you may not be able to pay or service all the interest or all the loan at the same time. So how on earth can you pay us and pay the bank A if it's coming from 2 different banks? So the only way the bank B will feel okay is that, okay, after all, the return is high, so the risk is high. So now the risk is high, so let me compensate me for the return. Let me charge you higher so that by the time you become probably bankrupted, I've recouped my investment and some little interest. So probably, and it's a possible reason. That's not a factual. It is not a true statement here. Why? Because this bit is not in the question. We are just making an assumption. So you can also create a scenario which will match perfectly with this. How we get that? You can also create a scenario that, okay, there has been an increase in what? Interest rate over the period. Inflation has gone up and it's increasing the interest rate. You can also go from that angle, depending on how you can argue your point. How we get that? So this part is not in the question. So it's a possible way, and that one reads the word YouTube. It appears that the additional bank, so the additional debenture was contracted from a different financial institution, which raised the interest or which increased the interest to compensate its risk. How we get that? For instance, if you're going to give money to somebody and that person is already in debt, that person already have debt, will you feel safe or there'll be some level of risk there?
I get it now. I get the argument now.
Good. So that is it. And then the truth of the matter is that it is not in what? The question. So it's like a possible way. You can also argue from a different angle and raise a very brilliant point. Yes.
Okay.
Now, if says something then, the other bank will increase it so that even within the shortest time, we can recoup our money before you default. Perfect. Yes. So this could be the reason. And these are the facts that we want to see in your write-up.
Okay.
Okay. So you get it right?
Yeah, I do. Thanks so much. Yeah.
You're welcome.
Okay.
Now, our next question. Let's pick our next question from Mr. Cephas. Yes, the interest cover measures good. Okay. Now with the interest cover, it just measures your ability. The number of times your profit can cover your interest, the profit available to pay interest. That's the operating profit. So basically, is your operating profit over your interest expense. So if it has decreased hugely, then it suggests that your strength to combat your profit is going down. Sorry, to combat your interest expense is going down. That's a threat or a risk. The first risk is that dividend will be affected because even the profit is not enough to pay the interest. What will be the profit that we are going to declare? The part of it, which part are you going to declare as your dividend to the shareholders, or which part are you going to distribute to the shareholders? So that is it. And then you check the costs. Check the loan. Is the loan increasing or the loan is decreasing? Check the operating profit. Is the operating profit increases? Is it decreasing? Here, if the operating profit decreases, don't come and give us the reason why the operating profit has decreased, because now you've done it under the profitability. So just give us a referral that it's as a result of decrease in operating profit. Yes, full stop. Don't come and explain why the operating profit has decreased here. No, this is not operating profit matter. So the operating profit matter just was in as a referral. Good. Because you've explained why the operating profit has decreased. In what? In the net asset turnover and in the profitability ratio. So if you do that, you do like a repetition. Repetition point. And when I come across something like this, just write repetition there, then move on. So now tell us, pick it from the interest section, because you've not mentioned interest in operating profit there. No, not mentioned under the profitability. So we can pick it from that angle and capitalize on it. That is due to the interest. And what caused the changes in the interest? Also capitalize the movement in the debt. So that is it. Good. Any other question? I am picking my question before I finalize my GRN and conclude our interpretation. And this should be a benchmark of your analysis. And like I said, please, all the ratios that we have calculated, choose 2, 2, 2, 2, and please know your point already that when interest cover increases, this is my point. When this is my point. Just you only have to go and confirm it in a question. That is it true? When you go and you confirm and it's not there, please don't do a gamma lizard. Yes, don't do a gamma lizard right up. If your point is not true this time around, look for a different point instantly. Don't coin it around and come and then step in your point. Like a question that someone that has studied a gamma lizard. What you study is what? It's a gamma lizard. Yes. And then he went to the exam and asked you, talks about forest. Okay, so that's fine. I'll do that. Thank you for the recommendation. I'll be talking now. Good. Assuming that you're an exam AC and they've asked you to talk about forest. Meanwhile, you've learned what? A gamma lizard. And you start. Oh, forest is a natural habitat for animals, where animals live, have their daily blood. And then one example of animal that live there is lizard. And lizard too, there are so many types of lizard. And one example of lizard is what? A gamma lizard. And then what part two? Then you write everything about gamma lizard. No. So note that for us. So that's why you have to be versatile. To overcome this, you have to solve a lot of questions to overcome this. Solve a lot of what? Questions. So like I have in the lecture note for you, I still have a lot of questions that I've not given out. So with time, I'll bring them out. Yes, I have about 2 to 3 questions that I have to forward it to you. That one will be a class test. So write a lot of them. And please, anytime you're there, write one, forward it to my mail or forward it to my page. I'll pick it up, read it. If there's any issue, call you and discuss it for you. Oh, yes. So write. It shouldn't be like a group before. You shouldn't ask before you do it for us. Other than that, to be some way. So take note, because when you are solving, you come across a lot of challenges in a question. Each and every question has its own peculiar challenge. So when you are the type that solve a lot of questions, in fact, you will smile. For those of you who are writing the professional exams, oh yes, question solving is the key. But if you don't solve enough questions, try. You even go to the exams and then say, so did I even study at all for the paper? Where someone is requesting for 3 sheets, I have not even finished half a page. So take note for us, the question solving is the key. And for those of you who are on the field practicing it, you will appreciate it. The credit controllers and then the managers, you will appreciate it well. And then those are the credit department, you will appreciate it well. So that is it. Okay, now let's back to our question. Kindly let me have your questions and then let's discuss them as we go. So we're about to write our second point or our recommendation. Yes, so the point that I said, you can chip it in. The new interest carried a higher interest note, probably could be due to, as a result of, no, here we're not sure, so you can't use as a result of, could be due to, it appears. Yes, so you can say that it appears that the new loan, no, it's not loan, it's debenture. The new debenture was taken from a different financial institution or a different holder, which requires a higher return as compensation for any default. So you can also write that, you can also include that point there, which has contributed to the decline of the interest cover. So can we chip in that one and then you'll be fine. I hope you get that. Let me repeat it. It appears that the new debentures issued during the year, was from a different holder or a financial institution, which requires a higher return to compensate for any default risks. So that is it. It appears, so it appears. I can see it too. It appears. We didn't say it's factual. That is, this is it. Please. Because if you go and make a possible assumption, a certain, we will not give it to you. So take note. Even though it's an, yes, we're supposed to give it to you. But tell us. So that is it. Now let's conclude. Let's put some little recommendation. So what will be the recommendation? Any recommendation for me? Any recommendation for me? Any recommendation for me? Any recommendation for me? Recommendation. What are you going to recommend to Peace Limited about their steep decline or drastic decrease in the interest cover? Any recommendation for them? Any turnaround situation? Something to neutralize it? Yes, if you should give recommendation. Or the recommendation can also be like that, or like this. Sometimes we will ask you to write this report to a particular user. Oh yes, we can ask you to write this report to a credit control manager, analyzing the performance and the position of Peace Limited and suggesting whether an loan or advance requested should be what? Loan or the advance or the facility requested should be what? Should be granted. So that is it. Wow. Repeat the last sentence. I like that. But I've said so many sentences. Okay, before you typed. Good. Don't worry, when you get a video, you can probably time that session. If you can probably time the specific aspects. So that is it. Okay. If you can tell me the parts, I may probably explain further for you. Yeah. Before I go on to my last. But my recommendation, is there any turnaround situation for them? So the recommendation can also be in like a decision. We've asked you to analyze the point and make a decision whether your boss or your manager should grant the facility to the customer, looking at what you have. So if your interest cover, one particular year has decreased over 89 times, then it suggests that we shouldn't give him the facility. We should just hold on for some time. But he might not be able to get enough profit to pay our interest. Just that one should not be the only factor that we should consider. Because we consider the liquidity. If the guy have cash, what about profit? The profit is just a survivor of the guy, how the guy survive. So that one is a profit. So we can also use the direct cash flow, whether the guy have enough cash to be able to service all his what? His loans. So here, despite the interest cover is very bad, the liquidity position of Peace Limited was perfect and was good. So Peace Limited is liquid, have cash. Yes, just that in performance, worry. Oh yes, in performance. Peace Limited have sacrificed all his what? All his profitability and performance, operating performance into liquidity. Oh yes, can sacrifice into liquidity. Yes, if you want to stay liquid, you lose your profitability. If you want to stay profitable, to also lose your liquidity. You can't have the two, no. You can't have cash and still be profit. No, it can't happen. So that's why you have to have effective working capital management or working capital management. That will probably blend the two together. Good. So my recommendation. Yes, my recommendation. Yes. So if the additional debt, the loan note or the venture was issued or sourced from a different financial institution, probably you should negotiate. Yes, you should negotiate for better interest rate. All of them boxed on to who you are, to that financial institution. If you're a key customer, you can negotiate. Oh yes, you can negotiate. And it depends on probably your goodwill, your credit worthiness can also box on that. My recommendation is that you should open up a good negotiation skills with that of the holders, so that at least assure them that yes, you will pay. Assure them that you will pay so that they will reduce the risks. So that is it. That will be probably my recommendation. Other than that, we are done with the gearing ratio. Good. We are done with the gearing or solvency. Interest cover was the last point. We are done. Now let's go to conclusion. So the next paragraph will be the general conclusion. So the general conclusion is the last paragraph. So tell us your conclusion. Okay, so you mean the last sentence on the debenture? Can I? Wow. Okay, I'll remind you. Now, my last sentence on the debenture was, I think, let me start the whole sentence again, if possible. It appears that the additional debenture was contracted from a different financial institution or a different holder, which required a higher return to compensate the default risks, compensate for the risks. So that is it. Good. Now let's go to the conclusion. So conclusion, that's a summary of all. So tell us the overall performance. So who can do that? I need a conclusion from you for the overall performance of Peace Limited. So here you cannot depend on solely one. Don't forget that we have 5 types of ratios. We have analyzed 4 of them here. We've talked about 4. So look at these 4 and see whether Peace Limited at least have performed well in 2 of these strong ones. So the 2 of the strong ratios should perform well. Good. So that is it. So profitability, check whether he was good there. Liquidity, for liquidity was superb. It was a superb, yes. And then efficiency was on and off. And finally, gearing. So we'll also talk about gearing. Gearing position is quite okay. Despite the interest cover, his debt to equity is reasonable. Yes, because he's not highly geared. So his gearing position is quietly okay. It's quietly what? Good. His gearing position is what? Quietly good because it's not highly geared. Despite the fact that his interest cover has declined. At least he can pay, just like it has decreased. Yes, he can pay his interest, just like it has decreased. So the gearing level does not pose. So gearing, okay. Gearing is not too bad. Gearing is not bad. So gearing is probably average or good. Liquidity, superb, best. Liquidity is doing best. Superb. So at least I can get 2 best here. Now let's go to profitability. Profitability, he has sacrificed all his profitable avenues. Let's go to efficiency. Efficiency, what happened there? Efficiency, the net asset turnover. Was he doing well in net asset turnover? Then, if at least 3 of them are okay, we can say that. In conclusion, the overall performance of Peace Limited is above average, below average, good, well, but depend on what you will say. But don't just capitalize on just one group of ratio and tell that you are doing well. In conclusion, the overall performance is well. Who lied to you? You are assessing it on only one side, one angle. No. So that's it. Okay, so with this, kindly write your conclusion. Let me see. No. You do one, I do one. 1-to-1 mapping. So on your points. So in conclusion, what can you say in conclusion? In conclusion, the overall performance of Peace Ltd. Peace Ltd. Peace Ltd. Performance of Peace Ltd. Can we say it's quite well? Quite well. Or it's within average. It's within average. It's within average. Yes, within average. Though he was extremely good in certain ratios and also bad, extremely bad in certain ratios too. So that is it. So we're balancing the equation. Yes, so that is it. Good. Normally, if the conclusion, the question was a decisive report, like make a recommendation or write the report about the performance and tell whether the loan should be given. So that one will conclude. In conclusion, the overall performance of Peace Ltd. is quite well. So the facility can be granted. Yes. Based on further notice or further assessment. Oh yes, they can do the assessment well. Yes, they can assess it further using other factors or other factors. I've used financials. What if it's lying? What if all the items in the financials are manipulated figures? Me too. This report will not be also. So that will not represent the economic reality of peace. So that's why you can also consider other avenues. Yes. So I'm done with the conclusion. So quite well, reasonably good, quite well, and then that is it. Then right from the conclusion, then consider that my office is open up for a further question or a further analysis or when the need arise. Oh yes, especially if you're a consultant. Yes. Now all these ones are embellishments. Yes, so don't worry about that. Then write your full name. Yes. James Brown. Yes. James Brown. And please sign for us, okay? Yes, sign. But if you're writing official report, you will sign. So your boss will see that, yes, this is authenticated by this. And then normally write your post. Yes. You write your post. AG. Acting finance assistant or acting credit control manager. So you put your details there. Full stop. I'm done. But the maximum marks we can give you together, everything, is 15 marks. So if you're writing, don't forget the maximum marks for the entire report is 15 marks, including the calculation of the ratios. Yes. The maximum, let me even make it like 17. The maximum is 17. So the calculation of the ratios, it range from 5 marks up to 7. So the maximum marks you can give it is 5 up to 7. So the report will take like 10 marks. Eh? Oh yes, that's the maximum marks. If the report takes 10 marks, have you seen the analysis well? If the report takes 10 marks, I don't want to tell you something. Other than that, you won't do it. You won't write for us. That is this. The format of the reports probably will take maximum range from 1 to 2 marks. The format maximum of 2, then 1 for the format, which comprise of what? The address, introduction, conclusion, and all this. 2 marks. Yes, this is not a sign of weakness. It is not a sign of weakness. So take note. Yes. And then we ask you other questions like limitations of your analysis or challenges with ratio analysis, so that you award that one for 3 marks and add or making 20 marks.
Hello, Fred.
Yes, making 20 marks. Yes, so that's how your 20 marks will be
Fred, are we done?
calculated for you. So that's why I say don't write plenty, just go straight to the point. It's as a result of this, it has increased because of this and that, you are done. Don't write plenty, because even if you write plenty and what we are looking for is not in the write-up, forget it. It's not about good handwriting. You will count the good handwriting if you are in the accounting boundary. The accounting boundary. Probably you are between 48 and 49, and probably need 2 or probably 1 to pass. And then probably you consider your handwriting. Oh, but if you are 37, and then she writing nice, so she consider the write-up. Yes. If the write-up is good, yes, we can give you a professional mark. And that professional mark, if you're in accounting boundary, oh, you will excel. You will escape the danger. So that is it.
Hello, Fred.
So thank you once again for today's edition. Kindly bring up all your questions. Yes, so question time, understanding time. So let me open the floor for questions. So if you have any question for me, kindly ask on what you've done. Yes. Now, question time, understanding time. Let's go to our handout and select the questions.
Hello, Fred.
So I'll go
Hello.
straight to first question. That
Hello.
will be for you. Will be diamond and shine. That one is what you've done is what? Trend analysis. So now we're going to do intercompany comparison. That will be for diamond analysis. Diamond is question number. Diamond will be question 3 or so. Diamond. So question 4 is Zangi. So Diamond is here. Diamond, please restrict yourself to the requirements. So Diamond and Shine. So let me check the question. Good. Question 3. Kindly try your hand on question 3. We've already calculated the ratios in our previous meetings. So please relocate all the ratios that you've calculated. If not, go to, I think, one of the videos, name Diamond and Shine. When you go to the drive, one of the video named Diamond and Shine. I think 2 of them, Diamond and Shine. Yeah, so we also calculated it there. So you can pick it from there and start to analysis.
Hello,
please.
Fred.
With that, let's try and limit ourselves to this, what they have provided for us in the analysis. So now we are going to limit ourselves to the question specific. So though you calculate a lot of ratios, try and talk about this for me. And group them, please. Group them. Don't start operating margin, rule C, like how they've listed them. You're going to also list no. Profitability, one side. Then liquidity, also one side. So that's my first question. Okay, so Rosie have a question. Yes. Yes, Rosie have a question for me. So let me go and pick it.
Hello, Fred.
Rosie, you have a
Hello,
question for
Fred.
me?
Yes, I wanted to ask a question concerning this.
Go to Rosie and pick Rosie.
Diamond and Shine.
Good, Rosie. Rosie, ask your question.
Yes, I said it was in relation to the Diamond and Shine.
Yeah.
The notes, there was depreciation charge, but when we were calculating the ratios, we didn't make use of the depreciation charge.
Okay, so let me throw the question back to you. What should have been the place that we should have probably treated the depreciation in the ratio? Which of the ratio will contain the depreciation?
I think the operating expense.
The operating profit. Did we calculated it ourselves or they've done it? So now let's go to the notes. The operating profit, they've already calculated it too. So we just have to pick
So
it.
why did they bring the depreciation charge?
So now let's see. Good. Admin operating profit 2,100. Depreciation charge 380. But it's a note. It's a workings. That depreciation charge is 380,000. Now let's go to the financial statement. It will be in the operating expenses because you will charge depreciation before getting the 2,100. So this figure, the 380, is in the operating expenses or the cost of sales, wherever they've charged you to. So if they have charged the depreciation to the cost of sales, yes, it's inside this. If they have charged the operating expenses, it's inside the 1,350. So that's why finally we picked the 2,100. So the operating profit is 2,100 and 1,780. When you go to the financial, that's what was there. When you go to the financial, operating profit 2,100, depreciation has already been factored in. So it was just there. You know, overflow of information is allowed. It's just a matter of you picking what you need to solve the question. We have to give you more than what you need.
But the way it was just left hanging. It looked like it was not taken into consideration. I'm saying that the way it was just left hanging, it looked like it was not taken into consideration.
It was a note, like a working. So they've hung it. This is the actual financial statement. The profit and loss is here. So this is the actual financial statement. So they are explaining how they got these values in the notes. And then they decided to bring it there at depreciation. So it was on its own, yes, hanging. So all the workings are separately. They don't need to conjust all the working. All the working should be done on its own. And it relates to operating profit. So that's why they brought it right after operating profit. I hope you get that. If they have not charged depreciation, they will tell you that depreciation has not been charged. I hope you get that.
Okay.
Good. Any other question?
Fred. Hello, Fred.
Yes.
It seems you have exhausted time to look at ratios or financial interpretation.
Yes.
When are you starting our next topic, and what is that topic?
Good. So I'll upload that one for you. But before we start, our next topic will be on budgets, budget and investment appraiser. That's our next topic. Good. Okay. So thank you for coming once again, and kindly thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and then wait for the subsequent lecture notes. We deliver it to you. So the next one will come to you. Thank you very much once again. Love you all. Bye. Good.